Hey, it's Mark, and I'm going to look at some charts tonight. I'm just going to go through some of the stocks that I already have on my watch list. I haven't run any in-depth scans yet for stocks for next week, but when I do run one of those scans over the weekend, I'll post up any charts I find on Twitter, or I'll probably do a video if there's anything really good in my scans that I find for next week. So I'm just going to go over some of the ones that I've already been looking at that are on my watch list and various ones like that. So this SLGC is actually a deep value stock that I found months ago, and I did a write-up on my Substack. My Substack, I have the link on the stockpursuit.com page and my link tree on Twitter, and it's where I strictly do fundamental research on usually small cap or mid cap deep value stocks that are either trading below their net current asset value or net tangible asset value. So they're basically the old Benjamin Graham net stocks. Benjamin Graham was one of the biggest influencers of Warren Buffett. So Buffett used to be a really big deep value investor, when he was managing less money. I don't know, of course, but this was one of those, and I think it may have been trading below net cash too. It was like 220 or 210 when I first looked at it. So it's probably still right around that level, but because I think I actually did a write-up in March, but I can't remember. But anyway, it's actually been pretty strong in the past month, which is a little different than the market, of course. So this one may actually try to break out of this trading range it's in. So it's a good pickup, really, around $2. If it tests $2 again, because it may not break this time, it may go back to $2, but it's a really good value stock. And on my Substack, I strictly do fundamental research. I don't do any technical analysis or anything like that. It's more of a based on the philosophy and strategy of deep value investing, which is holding a basket of stocks, like multiple positions, like 10, 20, 30 of these deep value stocks that are trading below their tangible asset values, or even cash sometimes. But the SLGC was a really cheap one that I found. So it's kind of interesting how it's been holding in really well the last month. So I think the VACC was one too. Actually, I think I just had that. I don't know. I had that saved somewhere else, and this one's actually managed to come back up. It's pretty surprising, really, because it was a supernova, and then it had an inside bar, but then it just kept going. And that's one of the things they can do sometimes when they do the inside bar. They don't always go down. So it really looks like it wants to break to keep going, really. But I'm not trading it, and it's not one of my ideas for trades, but it's interesting how that one's held in there pretty well. It's got a little flag triangle there. So the Camping World holdings, like I was talking the other day, I was looking for a bounce there, once it hit this support area here, I was expecting a bounce, and we got one. So I put on some really small calls in this one. I think they're monthly, like $23 strike, just to put some on there in case it does hold this breakup of downtrend momentum. Like it busted through this downtrend that it was in, but we'll see what it does. I don't see it as a really troubled stock. I mean, it's not the best stock, but I don't see why it can't hold this major level of support. So and you can see the stock's done pretty well over time. I mean, even though it's pretty much sideways a lot, but it can put up some runs. I mean, they're like in the RV kind of outdoors space, so it's not really like a high risk business, but it's mostly a technical play. But I mean, I know out of a lot of the companies that are RVs, they're pretty well run. So another one I found, I was watching this one, this other robotics company, and I like this one fundamentally too. And you can see it trades really well in channels. So it had a down channel there, and then it broke through, and then it had another up channel there, and then that failed too, and then it came down to another channel. Like there's another channel here, and it just broke through that downtrend. It broke through the upper resistance of that channel, and it's hammered. It's a hammer candle 2 days in a row, which is bullish. So it's got two hammers in a row, which a lot of times, every time I see two hammers in a row, there's usually, well, at least in the ones stocks I've seen in the past, a month or two that have two hammers in a row, they follow through and they do make a move. Especially like on these small caps, like a lot of times the technicals are easier to read because there's not algos all over it and big firms trading it. If you're trying to trade Apple or something based on just the candles, it's usually going to be pretty tough. But you see even doji, there's a doji here, which is like a reversal candle, and another doji in a row, basically. So dojis are reversal candles, and then it's got two hammers. So I think there's a really good chance this one makes a move. I still got calls in it from a long time ago. I bought some October calls like a month or two ago. I got the way out of the money 250s I bought when it started to move here. So that's a good one long. The AU is really great today. Like I ran through the technicals on this one 2 days ago when it gapped down just like it has in the past, and that one worked out really well. Like I'm up like 50% on those puts. I'm still holding puts on that. So I think it's gonna just keep going down. I've got the 16 strike puts, so that was a good one that I found. Excuse me. And the VIX was up today. It's kind of interesting. It kind of felt like it might have been today was a fake red day. Like you can get these red days and then it just blows past them the next trading day. Like it just felt like that today. Like that happened the other day, like here, like 3 days ago. There was a red candle that got taken out because it did, like the IWM did reclaim some some big levels there today. Like the past couple days, well, the past 3 days, this level right there has been a big fight level there, and it just reclaimed it towards close. So we'll see if that holds. But these are the intraday technicals, and it could be setting up for a bottom there, like it's kind of a rounding bottom. If this plays out, you know, it'll go range bound another day or two and then break out. But we'll see what it does. But it looks like it still could bottom out there, and we could take out higher levels. Because it was just due a bounce anyway. The market's been down pretty much all month, so it's gotta have some kind of pushback. And the pay was pretty good today too, held in there. Looks like it's really good volume today. It's got this little high flag. It did a high flag, little triangle pennant there. But this one's been very resilient too, considering how much the markets are down. Like it's pretty much been straight up. You know, it's been trending up since August, early August. Could be a buyout. Maybe there'll be a buyout coming. Like these payment companies have been a good business. So yeah, it had a base too. I didn't see that in other ones by the time I looked at it. It had a long base, channel. See, there's a major level that it danced around with there, and then failed to hold there, and that brought us to the low. Let's zoom in. So yeah, so there's the channel, and there's the failed retest, or there's the failed hold of the support. So the support became resistance. So then it actually faked out there, and then it came back down, and then it reclaimed that level there, and it's just been going since. After it popped above that major level. It was on earnings too. I don't think I did a deep dive on this one. I did on Spoke though. Spoke is a good one. It's a healthcare IT, basically just streamlined IT software, or as healthcare software. But these technicals are looking pretty messy here. It's just kind of like in this pennant channel. Just a lot of sideways. But it's done pretty well too in the past 2 or 3 months relative to the overall markets. So speaking of those, let's just look at some of those real quick. So yeah, there's the IWM, and even though it was a red day, you know, it held up pretty well because it gapped up, you know, in the morning. So it's really trying to come back up to that level there. And it very well may. Like there's a channel right there. It's got channel levels. So it pushed right up against that level, that channel resistance. And it trades in channels pretty well. Like, see, there was in a channel for half of August. So it's still range bound though. It's so messy. Like it really could still go either way. So I thought we were gonna test the. I thought we were gonna test the bottom here once it broke through that, but it may just be going really slowly down there. Like this could fail and we just could go down there, but we'll see. Like some of these sectors are doing pretty well. Like the semis are looking pretty good. Like semis broke above that downtrending channel, so that's pretty bullish, and it's so close to that major level that it could reclaim, and then it could, potentially try to go for the highs, but this channel could fail. I mean, but this breakout's pretty big though. When it broke out of that channel like it did back here. And the XHB I've been watching too. It's really, like, I thought here that was really bullish that it reclaimed this long-term trend line, because that's the long-term one, and it's still holding it. It's still holding. Well, today it's like right on it again, but unless this channel widens out, it just broke above this down channel too. So still short term looking pretty good. I mean, as far as not falling off a cliff, bearish. Let's look at some other sectors. Here, look at that. The retail ETF. The retail sector could only come right up to that line, to the my line that I already had drawn, which is this support, this major support level. Came right up to my line. So the fact that it touched that too is significant, because it couldn't make it past it. So that's actually kind of big. So we'll see what happens there with that level. Yeah, these pharmaceuticals are just downtrending. I really thought those had a chance with the market uncertainty, but I guess there's not much that's going to go up now. Even oil. Like I messed up on my oil trade. I kind of blew that one because the first thing is just the setup didn't work. Like, it didn't break out, but the other thing, I didn't cut my losses. I should have cut my loss about 50% on these puts, which is what I usually do with USO puts or USO calls. I mean calls, not puts. That's usually, that's what works out with the win to loss ratio and everything. So like I usually hold it like 2 or 3 days at the most. Usually about 2 days, and then the gains are like over 100%, and I just keep my losses at 50% just to maintain. So that was a pretty bad trade I did on that one. Just not so much the setup, because I think the setup was good, like a breakout, but the my management of it was pretty bad. Like I should have cut it earlier. So the NT and X, it's just still kind of sideways. That one's had some really good relative strength too, and still above that major level. And the K-Web really tried to look like it's gonna break out and go higher. It's a good thing I waited, because I didn't see this. Well, I didn't look at it in the morning, but it gave back all the gains, or some of the gains today. So I think it could be a fake out, because I was waiting for one of these levels to break, like either this support level or the downtrend, and that really could be a fake out. So it's really got to break above this now for me to long it. But we'll see what happens. It's not a good print today. Oh yeah, that bank, we got a bounce on this one, on this bank that hit one of my gap down scans. So the fact is that it was green makes the puts cheaper. So I put on some puts in this one. I'm just looking for it. The October 20th. I put on the October 20 $5 puts, just expecting some more momentum down, because it's been really weak, and the technicals aren't looking good. Like I think it could easily test these lows, like around 4. Yeah, a lot of stocks had a little bounce today, like BLNK. This one was pretty red, but then it bounced. It's just so choppy. I don't really like it. I don't like the price action for shorts anymore. Look at the uraniums too. They were really weak today. Like UEC came back, bearish engulfed. Yeah, it's a lot of bearish engulfs today. Yeah. Not looking good technically. That's funny, this one still held up. It's trying to hang in there at that level. Yeah, not looking. Technicals don't look really good short term here. Yeah, D&M was big down day. Wow. So looks like I'll be having some losses on those too, because I really thought they would get some follow through. But maybe best case is they just go sideways a while, because that's some pretty big bearish engulfs today. Those are the only ones I wanted to look at really. So I've got these EVgo puts too, and that one came up too, had a bounce. There's just a lot of stuff that's bouncing, but that's the level to watch. There is that major level that's what it broke through before the down move. So that's the channel level really, because it's held it a lot. So as long as they're below that, it's still good short bias. But looks like looks like those puts actually Yeah, it looks like I lost on those puts. They, no, I'll look at the other one. I was looking at the F cell. I lost on one of the F cell strikes. But the EVGO, I've got 10, 20 puts, the October 20th. So there's plenty of time to see it if that level holds. Or if it fails to, if it'll hold below that level, I should say. And the GLBS was really neat today too. I bought these calls just really speculative like days ago. I bought the 250 calls the November, or no, this is January maybe. January. Yeah, so these are up 50% now. So the momentum it had was really unusual, because like on these days that it was up, like the markets were just like basically crashing. So the relative strength was really good, and I just had a feeling that it was gonna keep moving, and so far it is. So I just need like 250 for these puts or these calls to really print. So I can't say I do have all puts. I do have some calls. Like I was thinking I was just so overweight on puts, which I do have a lot, but I do have some calls too. And I still got these save calls too, to save for the merger. And it's still holding this channel, which is good, because they're getting bought out by JetBlue for like $33.50 a share. So I got these. These are the October ones. I got the October calls. So it's been doing well. And the fact that it's going sideways too while the market's going down, at least like some people do have faith in the merger, but either it goes through or not. But I think there's a good probability it's going to go through, which a lot of these mergers go through, or acquisitions. So yeah, I was talking about this Siri too. I took profits in the Siri calls. Didn't get the best exit that I could have had if I'd sold yesterday, but there's still a good winner. The Siri, because Siri's looking pretty strong. So we got an inside bar. We got an inside bar today. Pretty good inside bar. So we'll see if that holds. If it goes below, it's gonna have a good chance of just going down, but because this could be the top. But I still got the puts. I've got actually no, those expired today, but it all worked out though, because I bought the calls when I flipped my bias once it broke that level. So the quad U's actually took out my uptrend level there, so you can see it was in a channel too. So if it doesn't quickly reverse, this thing's going down too. I mean, look at that volume there, it's pretty telling. So I don't think I'll buy puts on it, because it's really not a great short setup, but that'll probably be another loss for me, because I had those calls. Or did I even put that on? Like I think I just opted for those other for the uranium. Yeah, I don't think I put those on. I have the DNN and the Uroi and the NXC. for the uraniums. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I missed that one. Yeah, I didn't trade that, but that's a good thing because looks like it's gonna trade with uranium. So I'll just wrap it up there, and if I find some more stocks in my scans or anything, I might do another quick video or tweet some out on Twitter. So catch you later.